Oh my goodness. This has just been a very interesting week in terms of gaming. So, really, in reality, the only good company that's got, some sorts of good press is indeed Nintendo, with the announcement of the Nintendo Switch 2 yesterday. Well, this is going to be a completely different video, and I also have an announcement to share with you guys right now that this is going to be indeed the last video that you are going to see from us until we get moved into our new place in just a couple of weeks. So this is going to be the last video that we are probably going to be making for at least a couple of weeks, and then we will be I know I kind of said that too fast, but then we will be back on track by the time we get moved in. But yesterday, I made a video talking about the, rumor of the CEO of Microsoft who originally wanted to close down the Xbox because he doesn't think that the Xbox is doing all that great. And in terms of him, he just doesn't want to support it. Well, sadly, spoiler alert, we're going to be talking about PlayStation this time around, and now this is coming with the original CEO who left late last year, or early last year, I should say, in March, Jim Ryan. Jim Ryan has actually done not very good things when it comes to the PlayStation brand, and now there is a lot of PlayStation fans out there who are absolutely mad right now because apparently there's been a report that Sony has had several different companies working on live service games, and we haven't had very many just altogether first party games for the PlayStation 5, even if they're cross-gen as well, like God of War Ragnarok and Horizon Forbidden West and whatnot. We still haven't really seen that very many first party games because there just hasn't really been any. But apparently there is actually several different live service games that now just got canceled. And apparently these were basically, choices Jim Ryan made for the PlayStation 5. And now the PlayStation 5 is just people are saying this is the worst PlayStation generation ever. Because if you look at PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 especially, even PlayStation 3, even though the PlayStation 3 is the worst PlayStation, console out of all the PlayStations, it still had games. And we're talking Last of Us, we're talking the Uncharted series that began on there, as well as The Last of Us. There is definitely a lot of good games that the PlayStation 3 generation did have, and you definitely are not seeing that many with the PlayStation 5. And then the PlayStation 4 as well had some really good games. I mean, when you look at games like Uncharted 4 and this game, Horizon Zero Dawn, and you even got Spider-Man 2018, there's been some very good games, and that is when Sean Layden was, I know, I said that weird, Sean Layden is how you're supposed to prescribe his name. Not prescribe, but announce it. But throughout the PlayStation 4 generation, he was the CEO of Sony. And honestly, he was doing a really good job, unlike Jim Ryan. But he actually left Sony PlayStation in late 2019, and that is when we started to not get as very many first-party games, because you got to think, during the PlayStation 4 generation, we had Horizon Zero Dawn, we had Uncharted 4, we had The Last of Us Part 2 that came out right before the PlayStation 5 console launch. Then you got, some remasters we'll put in there, like The Last of Us remaster, which definitely was a big graphical improvement from the original PlayStation 3 version. Then you got Spider-Man 2018, you also got Knack, and then you also have, there's a few other games that I can't think off the top of my head right now, but there is also Infamous The Second Son, and there's been a huge catalog of games on the PlayStation 4 generation. But when it comes to the PlayStation 5, you're literally talking God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Spider-Man 2, and then several different remasters like Horizon Zero Dawn, Last of Us Part 1 remake, and The Last of Us Part 2 remaster, which, don't get me wrong, I think now when we look at it with live service, I think that this was a better option than just basically not releasing games at all. But even when you count the remasters, there still is not enough first-party games on the PlayStation 5 because you're literally only talking like almost like half of the PlayStation 4 generation that you can already play that already looked good if you had something like a PlayStation 4 Pro, and being able to get that enhancement, sometimes even better, especially like a higher performance like this game, for an example, like playing this on a PS5, you can get a 4K 60 FPS on Horizon Zero Dawn on the PS5, whereas if you play it on the 4 Pro, you're only getting 4K at 30 frames a second. So even then, there's just still not very many games, and I actually just found this out right after I got off work and got home and noticed this, that a lot of people are definitely mad at Sony right now because Jim Ryan was the guy that was like, oh yeah, we want microtransactions and we want to make games live service so that way I can get all the money in the world. And it has done nothing but hurt Sony and just hurt gamers in general, PlayStation users at least. So Microsoft, when it comes to Xbox, is not also in the best spot either, but they're not the only one now. Apparently, it's also happening with Sony just as well. And honestly, I hate to say this, like, this just makes me mad. Like, this is just not looking very, very good in terms of gaming. Like, this is just not the best for gaming right now. And honestly, I just hope something ends up getting better. There, I'll put it that way. It's just freaking frustrated because now you got Sony, we got more evidence of Sony on top of a lot of cancellations of live service games, and apparently it was developers that were making games like Horizon, God of War, and all of those awesome first-party single-player games that PlayStation is known for. Well, that's what Jim Ryan apparently made up that he wanted those to do because he was worried about the freaking microtransactions and just the online only type of game. In reality, it just has hurt Sony just as much as what's going on with Microsoft right now when it comes to Xbox. So I don't know, man. Gaming right now in 2025 is definitely not looking all that great right now. It is truthfully not looking great because now it's also with Sony PlayStation, not just Xbox, but the PlayStation brand as well. And it kind of makes me upset. And honestly, now you can actually see why that there's not a Days Gone 2 sequel for the first Days Gone on PS4 that a lot of people were requesting. So Jim Ryan just says, oh no, it's not a live service. We're not going to make it. Even though Days Gone didn't sell super, super well, but it was not a total flop either. There is a lot of people that I've seen in the comments of some posts on Facebook and YouTube videos that really do like Days Gone. And I mean, Days Gone, we got the game, and it's an awesome game. So, yeah, honestly, I think, yeah, it's very nice that Jim Ryan is definitely no longer the CEO of PlayStation anymore because he did not want to do nothing great except kill the PlayStation brand. And now a lot of people are mad, especially PlayStation fans, and they're calling the PlayStation 5 the worst PlayStation generation, console generation ever. And that's really sad to say, especially with how good that the PS5 is selling, and saying that the PlayStation 3 disaster was a much better generation than the PS5. Yeah, that's just insane right now. So, yeah, the PlayStation is also not in a very good spot, just like the Xbox is also not in a very good spot. So, yeah, 2025 for gaming is definitely not looking very good of the start of 2025. But this is Tech and Gaming Reviews, so hope you enjoy that rant of us talking about PlayStation's choices that they have been making that is not super good. Let us know in the comment section down below if this upsets you, for those of you PlayStation fans out there, that Jim Ryan wanted to mostly just do live service games, and now because that has been proven that that's what he wanted, and because, well, several different games have been canceled from Sony because of it and all that stuff. So yeah, just let us know in the comment section down below of your thoughts of this whole PlayStation live service and all the cancellations and with Jim Ryan and whatnot. Just let us know in the comment section down below. Hit that like button if you're new. Hit that subscribe button as well. And right before I end the video, just to clarify again, like I did in the beginning of the video, this is going to be our last video until we get moved into our new house in literally just a couple of weeks. So, not going to be a super, super long wait, but just wanted to let you guys know that this is going to be indeed our last video until we get moved in a couple weeks. So, Tech and Gaming Reviews here. Rate, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you in the next one. Peace.